Hey, it's Louis Zylka here. I like to call myself the moviegoer here on YouTube, and on my channel I like to review movies and talk about film all the time. So that's my passion. I'm a huge movie buff, but in this case, I do want to talk about something a little off topic, and that is Chester Bennington's suicide, which I don't know when it'll be that it happened, because I don't know when I'm going to upload the video, if I even do upload the video. This is just kind of random. I just wanted to maybe do a video about this just because I guess it is a big deal to me, because he was in some sense part of my childhood, at least growing up, and that's what I'm gonna say. I mean, I didn't discover Linkin Park. He's the lead singer of Linkin Park, if I need to say that. But yeah, I didn't discover Linkin Park really young. Like when I guess childhood means 5, 10 years old. I don't know, but I definitely discovered Linkin Park middle school, high school years, and I can definitely say that I grew up with that music, or grew up with their music. And yeah, from time to time, I would usually always listen to the songs again. Like, I haven't been a big fan of, I haven't been following them for a while lately, just because I've been, getting into other things, and I've been busy with other stuff, and it's just, kind of like people change, but whenever I get nostalgic, I maybe watch a movie or catch up on some songs, and then sometimes I'll definitely go back and listen to some Linkin Park. And the point I'm getting across is that I really loved Linkin Park back then, and it was, I always felt kind of like a outsider, or kind of like one of those people who liked Linkin Park, because as much as Linkin Park did have a following, I always knew that a lot of my friends and other people weren't that crazy about Linkin Park as I was. I wasn't even surprised when my dad liked Linkin Park, that they were cool. And so, nonetheless, I always liked their songs. For one, their songs were just really, really cool. I always see them on music videos for random things like Dragon Ball Z or Bionicle. And of course, I would even argue that they were the best part of the Transformers movies, because they would always have a new song for the Transformers movies. The first one was What I've Done, the second one was the second one was New Divide, and the third one was Iridescence. And yeah, I think Linkin Park in some way made those movies great. But nonetheless, I can just listen to the songs separately. But yeah, their songs were really cool, and they can always fit to make really good music videos, but at the same time I always liked a lot of the emotion and lyrics. And of course, a lot of that was driven by Chester, the lead singer. He always had a great voice. Even when it came to some of the more quiet songs, one of my favorite songs by Linkin Park was Shadow of the Day. Because Linkin Park is always known for the screamo kind of stuff, and it was kind of and Linkin Park might be, if Linkin Park is considered screamo, then that might be the only screamo band that I really like. I mean, they have that screamo alternative vibe to it, but I like it. It does, touch into that. It does touch that teen angst that I think a lot of us still have in us, and I think it just brings it out. Whenever maybe I'm pissed off, it just makes me relate to the lyrics. And I think Chester always brought that kind of emotion. And going back, he always, even if he doesn't need to do a lot of the screaming, even if he's just doing quiet singing, just singing normally, it's still great. I love it. Like I said, one of my favorite songs is Shadow of the Day. It's one of their most quiet songs, but he just brings in so much emotion, and it just makes me feel like I can relate to something, and I just finding out that he passed away was just sad. Like, it's kind of ironic too, because I was also watching some Robin Williams videos today, thinking about how sad it was that such a funny man passed away, committed suicide for, reasons obviously, but that, someone who brought so much, joy, was sad and wanted to, end his life. And, it is such a sad thing for, whenever I hear, beloved people do that. Like, I knew a friend who also committed suicide last year, and he was one of the most beloved people I knew. Like, a lot of people knew him and loved him so much for some of the stuff he did, and it was so shocking that he committed suicide. It was so shocking that he committed suicide just because he was such an amazing person. And I'm not gonna lie, when sometimes I think of that, just personal reasons, and I don't want to get too deep into it, but like, yeah, sometimes like I think about that, like suicide, and I mean, what I do to cope with it is anything that I enjoy, writing or watching movies, and also just listening to some of my favorite music. And maybe once in a while it would be Linkin Park. Maybe not all the time, but like whenever I feel nostalgic, I listen to Linkin Park and feel nostalgic, and I feel, takes me back to some, good old times. And it was just so devastating whenever I found out. Like, I found out about his suicide through my friends. They posted a picture about it, and I didn't know what to say. You can't really have the right words to say. And yet again, there's a lot of things you can say. It does feel like a part of my childhood, a part of me is kind of gone now because of this one person. Even though he's just one member of a band, passed away. Even though he's one member, I still knew him like he was a good friend. And I always loved what he brought for music, and he always brought such, passion. Like, of course, like Linkin Park's not always joyful. It's, it is best way to describe it is teen angst, but he always brought this kind of side of music that just I feel like it was the kind of music that was needed for anyone who needed it. Like, not everyone has to like it, but it's the kind of music that I feel like people could really use, because not everyone is the same. This is why I'm going back to like how I was like kind of I felt kind of weird for liking Linkin Park, because not a lot of people I knew or a lot of my friends liked Linkin Park, and so it felt nice that like I was able to find this kind of music that I felt like I could understand and relate to and enjoy, and I always, appreciated what they did, for being different. And I guess that's just like my kind of taste in music sometimes, is different kind of music. And I always respected the new music that they made, because they of course have been changing, but I always was interested to see what they did new. Like what were the new songs, because they were different. Because I haven't actually heard much of their new music, but it's not like I absolutely hate it. Of course not. I always appreciate them doing something different all the time, and I still always will love their music. I'm not gonna be a non-Linkin Park fan at all. I'm not like gonna go back and think to myself for regretting Linkin Park. And yeah, I really don't know what else I can say. Even if their music wasn't happy all the time, it always helped me get through some things and helped me to appreciate being different, because I myself am different, and Linkin Park always made different music, and they were unique for that. And it was just devastating to hear that Chester passed away, committing suicide. For I know that he has a few children from 2 different wives, and I also found out he was sexually abused. And I don't want to just. I can't just get upset about that, because I'm pretty sure if I was in his shoes, I would have felt the same way. I felt like I would have wanted to do it. I couldn't understand. Maybe I also, but what I'm trying to say is that I'm pretty sure I don't understand what he went through, but I could try to understand. And I wish, maybe he had more. I wish. I don't know how to correctly say it. Just like wish that someone else was there to help him, or he had more people there for him. Just the same way that his music was there for me. I don't know. At the end of the day, I can just say that I guess thank you, Chester, for being part of my life.